Okay, guys, so let's keep going. I'm going to try to keep this tutorial under 10 hours for the entire website build because that'd be super epic if we could build the entire platform that quickly. We'll see how things pan out, but stay strong, and you're seeing the progress as it develops. And that's, to me, it's one of the best things about creating, building something is when you can see it in front of your eyes and it's you're making progress. Just step by step, you'll get there. Okay, let's get right back to it. So we left off and we were looking at adding a list of property button down here. We created the most of the homepage. We added the header. We added the footer. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to come back to this page later because we're going to need to add in these other fields. But we're going to, before we add in, we're going to need to add the other lists and display that information. We're going to come back after we've built the forms that allow us to upload information, like upload a listing. So we're going to step away from the homepage for a minute and focus on the next page, which is going to be the listing page itself. So right in here is where let's actually take a look at a couple examples on Real Estate Lviv's website. So I'm going to pull up in this one. Let me see. So something that's kind of cool, I like what they did here is they have this photo in the background and it's like blurred out. It looks really just looks nice. I like it. It's a nice design. And then it shows the listing and the information right up front like that. And then down in here, you can see these nice, just beautiful photos of the listing itself where it's nice, high quality. You can see all the information. You can see a map where the apartment is at. So that's what we're going to build right now. We're going to build that section. So let's go back to our apartment net page or whatever you called your application. And we're going to create a new page now. So the new page is going to be called, let me see what Lviv called theirs. They just called theirs, we're just going to call ours list property. We'll say, yeah, property. Just call it property. Oops. Property. We will clone it from the home page. So clone from the index. So that's something we don't really need to do, but we just want to keep some of the settings on our page. And we're just going to go through and delete a lot of this stuff. So, okay, let's take a look at what do we have on the, what do we want to keep on this page itself? So do we want to keep the design for our header? Are we going to create a new header? We will create a new header. I do think that's a good idea. But we'll leave this alone for right now. Let's just get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. We're going to keep that text because we're going to edit that text. Let's see, what are we getting rid of? So we'll let's get rid of all this, get rid of the search bar, get rid of this listing section. We'll keep that text, get rid of this, get rid of this. Let me see, where does this go down? Yeah, we're also going to get rid of this list of property button. The footer, well, we don't really need the footer either. We'll leave it. Actually, we'll leave the footer in there because it's not essential. But it's fine. So we'll leave that in there. Okay. What next? Well, let's go back. We're gonna model it might be a little tricky to model this blur that they've created here. We can do that. There's actually a blur. What we could do is we could actually either upload a blurred photo. There's a blur function that we can add to the website. That's kind of a finer detail, so we'll leave it alone for the moment. I'm just going to drag this up a little bit, and we'll come back to that later. So we're just going to leave we're just going to make this a little tighter as far as the size, and we're going to leave it not blurred. Just don't worry about it right now. It's not super important. Now here's where we're going to talk about something that is important, and that is how does someone go from the homepage? So I'm going to go back to the homepage. Remember, you just click here, and then you can go to any of the pages on your website. Don't worry about my other pages that I've created. That's not relevant for us. So go back to index. Index is the page where when someone types in the URL of the website, like facebook.com, index that's what's going to show up. Okay, so the naked URL, as we call it, sometimes naked, that's what appears up. So our homepage. When they click on, for example, like they click here, and it's going to take them to that page. How do we know to display the right listing? Okay, so it's going to bring us to one other point, and I'm actually going to add one more thing to the database right now that I almost forgot that we need, and that is the ID, and it's something that we would have never added later. So we're going to call this ID field text. Okay, property has an ID associated with it. This is a unique ID that we're going to create internally in our program. It's a certain number of digits, it's a random number. I'll show you guys how we create it later. And that's how we're going to reference the particular listing that we want to get. So we'll click on that. We'll create this later. We're going to create a click. It's going to go to the property page. And then based on that, we're going to add some information to the URL, like the ID of that property. It's going to appear down here. So, okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a group in here. So, okay, so click on this text right here, click on the text up top, left click, group these elements into a group, and center this, drag this group out, center it horizontally. You guys are getting the idea where we create groups and center them horizontally on the page for our design. We're going to call this group property, and this group is going to have type of content, a property. And we're going to do a search for a particular property and add a new constraint whose ID is equal to, and then go down to get data from page URL. Parameter, we want this parameter to be called property, and type text. So get property from page URL, and then first item. Okay, so now we set up the container to get that information. So actually, let's just build out the full mechanism right now so you understand how it works. So, okay, so go back to the index page, and we have this particular listing right here. So I'm going to double click on our repeating group here, create this line so we can see that line, and I'm going to add a link. So add a link all the way across. Left click, bring to front. That just means that this link sits on top of everything else. Get rid of that text, and we're going to go to an internal page called property. Let's drag this link out so it stretches all the way across the properties page like this. Okay, and then we're going to send more parameters to the page, and click on add another parameter. This parameter is going to be called property. Whoops, there we go. And then current sales listings, properties, ID. So what we're doing is we're saying, okay, go to the page property, and I want you to send some text in the URL, which is that property's ID. And what we did is we set up a group that's going to collect that ID. This is a really clean way to build your URLs. So there's other ways that you can reference this information. Like say if you clicked on this, go to this page, and it could just be messy in the URL, but we want our URLs to be really clean. So it's just going to read, for example, our chosen domain / property, and then property question mark equals that particular property. So, okay, that might have been a little confusing. I'll show you directly what I mean in just a minute, but that's all we have to do. And we're all set now to click on, to have basically click here, and it's going to link to the property page and display that data, the relevant property that we created. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go in here and add some more dynamic data. So parent group properties, title, that's what's going to be appearing right up here at the top. Okay, yeah, that's good. Let's center this horizontally, center it as well in the settings there, and all right. Finish. Let's see what they have listed here. Residential complex of premium class. And then here they just have a little subtitle. Do we want to include that? Yeah, we'll include a. Yeah, we're gonna include some text down here as well. So let's go copy, paste, bring this down a little bit. Adjust the size of this to say size 26 for example. And it's going down to 24. Okay, bring that up a little bit. And this is going to be parent group properties. What do I want to say? Yeah, we'll copy what they have in here. Finished documents of ownership. That just sounds like really nice. It's like, ooh, you know, finished documents of ownership. Documents of ownership. And go down here and we'll say, okay, so when parent group's property, all right, now here's something that we didn't add, and it's a piece of information that I do think we should add, and that is this property? Well, no, that's not true. It's in property type. So this parent group property type is apartment for sale, or parent group properties property type is house for sale. Then this element is visible. No, not this element's visible. Then this text is going to be finished documents of ownership. Okay, so to find another condition, when copy this condition, okay, apartment is apartment for rent, or his house is for rent. Let's say text. All right, move in this week. All right, and then down in here we select the, gosh, that is really nice. I like that apartment. That's just nice. Okay, so then put the price right down there. So then, okay, copy this, paste. Okay, and then price. We'll add the from. No, we don't need that. So parent group properties, price. All right, add a little USD sign right there. Okay, that's nice. Let's drag this page down. Let's also preview this really quick. How does this look? That's nice. Yep, so everything's good there. Another thing is, do we want to build out this section in here right now? This second header. I like their style of header that they chose for this next part, where it's just blue. So we'll create that, and we're gonna create it fairly fast as well. So I'm gonna create a new header, call this header property, and clone it from header. Okay. It's gonna be very similar to header. We're just going to adjust a few things in here, so such as bring this size down, bring that up. I like that size is better. Okay, size out. Just that size. So it's the right size. Whoops. Bring that up a little bit. Okay, that's good. Bring that up as well as these guys. So these guys, we will adjust the color of these. Probably, I think let's change this size to size like 18. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oops, bring that up. Oh, come on. There we go. Bring this all up. Adjust this background color. Whoa, whoops. No, we don't want this background color. We want, let's bring another group these elements into a group, drag this group all the way out. Drag this group all the way out. And if you need to rewind this to slowly see what I'm doing, I'm basically just planning out to add this this color to this part of this blue color. And let's make sure it's the right blue. It's kind of like this light blue like that. Yeah, that's about right. All right, that's nice. Just this. Sign up. Log in. Okay, also change this color to white. All right. Let me also adjust that to width of 1. Okay, and center this vertically. Center that vertically. Center this vertically also. Whoops. There we go. Center vertically. Okay, and then group drop down options. Just bring drop down options up. Rent up. Okay, and you're just gonna adjust this, bring this down. Let me see group for rent options. Let me see group drop down options. Let me just adjust this a little bit, bring that down. Group for rent options. We just want to bring group for rent options into group drop down options, just like that. Beautiful. And I think that will about do it. So let's test it out. Let's see if we fully converted this. So now we're going to go back to the property page. And we're going to say, okay, let's test it out. So delete the header on the top and use the new header property. Okay, whoops. Let's actually go back to the header property and adjust it again. So bring that down, center that horizontally. All right, almost there. Also want to center this header horizontally. Center vertically, I mean, vertically. Center those vertically. And all right, that's pretty nice. Let's also adjust this size down a little bit like that. Center that vertically. And let's test this out. Okay. Another thing, okay, yeah, that's fine. So go back to property and test it out. Okay. All right, for sale is showing up. The for rent is not showing up though. That's okay, we can adjust that. Okay. All right, let's also, let's go in and say, do we want to change the color of these to like a gray? I think we want to change these colors to like a lighter gray. Let's go ahead and, let me see, have that blur. We'll leave this alone. So it's a decent start. We just need to fix that other one, group drop down options. Group drop down for rent. You figure out why for rent is not showing up. Let's just bring this to the front and see if that works. Fixes our problem. Sometimes certain elements are just hiding underneath. Okay, still didn't fix our issue with that not showing up. So let's test this again. So when group for rent is hovered, show this value, show this. And, so probably has to do with us saying, okay, well, when this group for sale is hovered, group for sale options is hovered. So we need to make sure the group drop down options also says when group for rent is hovered. Or group for rent options is hovered. That was our little kink. If we fix that, let's go back. I think that's going to solve our problem then. Perfect. There we go. So now these are showing up now too. Okay. And that's the next point that we wanted to make. Well, let's just go back here. Let's also, you can see theirs is really like this kind of a dark gray, and I like that color. So let's actually, let me adjust this a little bit. Center this so it's like truly vertically there. Yeah, center that vertically. Yeah, I just want to make this as centered as possible. Okay, and let's just list the property. We don't, this button is kind of, it's in the way. So we're just going to maybe make it like a darker color. Let's either try making it a dark color or just getting rid of it. I just have to think what makes more sense. Yeah, we will just, we'll set this up as just, instead of a colored button, we'll make it just be some more text. So this text says list a property. So some text, okay. And let's also change this text to kind of like this gray, like this D-E-D-E. That's nice. Yeah, and then when this text is hovered, I guess, we'll leave that alone. So change it to change those colors as well. So change that to D-E-D-E-D-E. That's nice. All right, change this as well. D-D-D-E, okay. And this one, I'm gonna get rid of this underline and also change this color to D-D-D-E. Again, right here, change this to D-D-D-E. Get rid of the underline. One more area in here, which is this button, a little, come on. It's kind of hard to select. There we go. So change this divider also. And we'll get rid of that underline as well. Okay, so nice and simple. So now going back to our property page, we can see it's all really simple, nice, clean design. So the primary focus is on this component in here. And then the next thing we can do is, so they used a blur. We're going to use instead, we will use we're going to make a shadow. So the way we do that is going to bring this up to like right there. And we're going to change this color to like black basically on this shape. And then we're going to make this shape really transparent. So as you can see, that's adjust the transparency. See, it brings the transparency down like this, which is really nice for just kind of setting stuff in the background. So send this to the back. And then, whoops, we want to send this one all the way to the back. And then that just helps us keep things kind of in the background. And, whoa, whoops, okay, here's where we have to be careful as well that this is not fixed width. Let's see if this will fix it. This may create some issues with us. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, that's good. Let's also, I just want this to be basically the right height. So let's just bring this up a little tiny bit. Okay. We don't want to have that white space. All right, so that's pretty okay start here so far. List of property. I like that. Almost done. I just want to go back to the header property page again. Get rid of that underline. We don't want that. That's non-uniform. And let me see. I think everything else is pretty okay for right now. Let me double check that we changed this color correctly. We did. Okay. All right. So yeah, this looks okay. So for right now we can see that there's going to be the text, there's going to be the price, and we will also adjust a few other things in here. So more than just that. Yeah, we want to adjust. Okay, so go back to property. So we have those three things. I do like that. Let's just bring this down a little bit and let's add that shape that they have. So it just goes across. So nice white color like that. Just going across. Whoops. And select it. So yeah, this is nice and thin. We'll make ours about that wide. Oh, there we go. Center horizontally. Okay, and the width, that's okay. That all looks good. All All right, and then the rest of this section looks pretty good. Let me bring this up a little bit, like that. No, bring that back down. Okay, so this is a good start. So now we are going to be able to see this this information on the front. Okay, so time to build this stuff down in here. So they have this really just epic slideshow that I just love this slideshow. It's so sexy. So we definitely want to build a slideshow like that. So talk about how we're going to build something similar. So go back to our add plugins, our plugin section. Go to add plugins, search for Slick Slideshow. Install that if it isn't already installed. I already installed it, so I didn't need to click that. And it's going to show up down in here. And now when you go over to your elements, you're going to have this element called slideshow. So we're going to drag that slideshow onto the page. Okay, so we got this text up in here as well. So awesome. So we're going to want that slideshow. So let's talk about how do we build the slideshow just like this. So let's adjust the height of the slideshow. What do we have as far as the text down in here? We don't really need some of this stuff. So let me see. What do we want? Should we keep this? We may keep those, we may add those buttons. For right now, we're just going to leave them out. So our page will be simpler. We're going to forget about those and just add this text there. So that photo. So bring the photo up, make it nice and wide, just gnarly. Just yeah, that's nice. That's a gorgeous size right there. She's beautiful. Okay. Okay, and it's going to be a dynamic list. It's going to be the properties. And then parent group properties, photos. Let me see, image field. Let's see here, type of image. Just regular image. Parent group properties, photos. Stretch them. Yeah, that's fine. Animation slide. Show navigation buttons. Don't autoplay it. And show the arrow buttons. All right, that's really nice. So we got a nice slideshow in here. We do want that. And then below we'll have, we can add this, we can add this section in here where you can click on a particular photo, but we'll leave that out as well because that's just going to take more time to program than we want. And we're just going to have the base. We just want a basic slideshow. We want to show all the photos and that's it. And then that's the most essential thing. Below that, we'll have the information again listed in here. So, okay, so drag this down, and right in here, we're going to say, drag this text down, drag it over, and then we're going to write in here the insert dynamic tense parent group properties title, size. Let's bring it up to size 24. Drag this out. Make this title to the left like that. Okay. And then the location is going to be below it. So copy, paste the text below that. Change this size to say 18 or 16. No, it's a little too small. Let's go with 19. That's probably all right. Parent groups, location. Yep. I want the location. I want the price as well. So then the price. So here we go. So adjust this down a little bit. Turn that center to the lined up to the right, and we're going to say price, and then add another $sign right in here in the corner. Okay, bring that over so it's just centered right on like that. Beautiful. Okay, bring that up a little bit. And next we also are going to have the description of course. That's really key. So we could see that they just kind of, we can just allow them to add all these things. So we'll add some more information as well directly in here on every page. Like we'll add some things in here about, okay, what are the details about number of, so in particular, like number of rooms, number of bathrooms. We'll include that in a section right in here. And then below that, again, I just copied and pasted the text. This is going to be the description. And in that description, the property owner can include everything they want to add. So boom, just like that. Bring this down. Okay, description. It will adjust in size. That's fine for right now. Next up, we also want to add a map. So click on Map, Individual Elements, drag out this map on the page. Drag that down like that. And we want this to say, we want this to be a single marker address, parent group properties, location. Allow zooming and dragging, that's all fine. Make this a fixed width as well. Let's see, their map is pretty big, so we'll make ours bigger as well. So it's just the size here, so I'm just dragging down the footer, so it would make the length of the page wide, bigger. Okay, drag down the length of that button. And that's pretty good for the location like that. Yeah, we'll display the location just like that. Beautiful. Okay. And the next thing we want to do is add in this contact section in here. Okay, so we will check out our page real quick. All right, everything looks fine. You'll be able to see more information very soon. As soon as we have a real property listed here, you'll be able to see all this stuff. So let's see, that they made it, we'll make this into a group. So we'll go click on group, drag this group out onto the page, adjust it to be about right there. It's probably okay like that. The width down a little bit wider, something like that. It's pretty good. Okay, remove the style of that group, solid border, adjust the color. It's like a nice darker color like that. Let me see, what do they have? Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's change this roundness to like 4. Boom, just like that. Call this group contact owner. And the next thing we want to do is write in some more text. So let's go over down here. Say copy this text, paste that text up. Let's bring this up. Call this, delete that text, whoops, and call this text contact owner. Awesome. Bring this on up. Make sure this is fixed width. Yeah, that's good. Okay, contact owner. Let's make sure we get it in the right location. That's about right, like that. Okay, they can have a photo. Sure, we'll let them have a photo. Why not? I will show you guys how to add that in later. So contact owner. And it's going to be, so we're going to go to, so here we need to say the group contact owner is going to have a property, a data source, and parent group's property is going to be the data we're going to reference. So parent group's property, creators, and here's where we're going to create a new field, call it profile picture, image, boom, profile picture, process with image X, resize to fit the dimensions by cropping. This is going to ensure that when we did this, resized the image. It just ensures that the profile picture is going to be this particular size, and we'll crop it to that size. Just for our designs, it looks nice. Fidel Prodaju. Okay, so then the next thing in here, we'll just show the phone number by default of a particular user and their name. We'll leave this alone. So we're just going to show their name. Yeah, we'll just show their name and their phone number. So name. Okay, name, parent group properties, creators, and here's where we're going to go in here, create a new field, call this field name. It's a text field. All right, remove the style, bring this up to like size 15. Okay, so here they're going to have the name, copy this text, paste this text. Below the name, there's going to be, what else do we want to have? Yeah, then we'll just have the phone number below that. So create a new field, phone number, which is text, and we add the phone number right there. Okay. And after that, we have your name, phone, email, and message. So to do that, we just add in an input here and drag this out across the page. We say, you want this, let's see, how wide is that? Yeah, that's about good, a little wider. Center horizontally. Okay, fixed width. Input your name. Change the placeholder to your name. That's good. Okay. Paste, copy paste, bring it down a little bit. Next step is going to be phone. Input your phone. Bring that down a little bit like that. Okay. Copy, paste again. And this is going to say email. Sure. There we go. Email, and bring this down a little bit again. We want to also include message. Here's where actually we want to, let's delete this. Let's create a multi-line input. Drag this out on the page. Drag this out. There we go. Match that. That up a little bit. Place multi-line inputs, note. Placeholder, we'll say I'm interested in, and then here's where we'll say parent group properties, title. Okay, and initial content, that's all good. Fixed width, bring this down a little bit again, and then just click send, and then there'll be a send button. So we're going to make our send button bigger than theirs. I think they made a mistake by making that small. Okay, bring this up a bit. Like that. Awesome. Change this to a success color. Remove the style. Just get rid of that bold and click send. And just like that, that's pretty good. It's just says, maybe it says 15, a little bigger. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we have a pretty decent setup now for this page. The only thing left for us to do now is, well, we have multiple things to do, but the next thing we're going to build is we're going to have the property listing page, or the page where people upload information about the property, like the photos and everything else. And that's going to tie a lot of things together that we've been doing. So we're finally going to see a ton of pages working the way we want them to. It's going to be really awesome. So see you guys in the next video.